Hello, this is Professor MCal back with another presentation for you. This one is a continuation of the Magick series that I'm kind of doing. This is Magick 102. I think if you just scroll down, Magick 101 is available right underneath. I think it's the last one I did. It's been quite a while since I posted, probably about 6 months. A lot of things have been going on. I'm sure that's true of many people, most people. I'm not going to elaborate on things that have been going on this video. Maybe on the next one, I can bring you up to date on some things. I'm happy to do this presentation. I've got a few more new ones planned. The physiological process of ascension, and another one called the modern blood of Baal, which is a little bit of an expose on the modern Canaanite bloodline. I might have to put that one on my Patreon. There's a Saturnian called Patreon. It's like $8 or $10 a month. There's some exclusive content up there. I'd like to do more. There's a little bit there now. If you're interested in my human trafficking presentation, you can find it on there as well. So we'll go through this Magick 102. Recap. Last time we talked about the definition of magic, according to Crowley, causing change and conformity with one's will. We talked about important people in the world of magical practice, both past and present. I think I definitely talked about Crowley. I can't remember if it was the last presentation, but there was another one I did that was I talked about Dion Fortune, Israel Regardie, many other people. I think that's the 20th century, the 20th century revival, occult revival presentation. That's one of my favorites. See that one if you haven't. Okay, so we'll talk about the lesser key of Solomon, or the Goetia. I've talked about this quite a bit. There's the key of Solomon the king, or the greater key, and then there's a lesser key. We can see the magical circle right here. What would be the black mirror here in the east? This text is for evoking demons. That's bringing demons or dark forces into the world that are outside of yourself. Invoking, of course, is for bringing these things within yourself, or manifesting them within yourself, right? So the Goetia is for evoking demons. The key of Solomon the king, or the greater, is for invoking angels. In this work, the hierarchy of demons, their seals, their names, and packs are present. This is an extremely valuable work. This one, again, was put together by Crowley and edited by Mathers. And I've talked about the importance of both of these guys. And when it comes to the restoration of these texts, particularly Samuel Liddell MacGregor Mathers and his prowess in restoring these ancient works. So we just went over the difference between invoking, evoking as well. So we'll move on. Magical tools. Magic is an art and a spiritual science. It is an exacting art and spiritual science. It needs to be done very specifically, and I think it benefits from a little bit of perfectionism in the practitioner. To do any job, you have to have the right tools. If you want to be a plumber, you have to have the right tools. If you want to be a drummer, you have to have the right tools. If you want to be a mechanic, you have to have the right tools. If you want to be a magician, you have to have the right ones as well. They need to be consecrated correctly, charged correctly, and of the right dimensions as well. Magic is actualized in the mind and in the heart. It is performed in a physical space using magical tools, of course. Most of you will already know this. The altar in the practice of magic represents the desire, the will, and what the practitioner wants to concentrate on. This is not unlike the role the altar plays in other practices and religions. So the altar is not unlike what you would find in other mainstream religions or more well-known religions. It's basically used for the same thing. Items for concentration, items for the work, magical texts, sacred volumes, a grimoire, whatever. The athame. The athame is a ceremonial dagger. Its primary use is to channel and direct psychic energy, generally conceived as an etheric fire. So this is yet another tool to trap and trap energy, harness the energy, and then use it. It's an object of focus. The drawing of pentacles or other shapes and signs into the spirit realm are done with the athame or the magic wand as well. If you're drawing the pentagram, or you're doing the greater banishing ritual, the pentagram or the lesser banishing, you're going to draw the pentagram into the ethereal realm. So the deities or spirits or whatever it may be, the mark that you're leaving in the ethereal realm can be traced with this item. The grimoire. The grimoire is a book of magical ideas, pacts, seals, spells, whatever it may be. If you go to a Christian church, you find the Bible. If you go to a mosque, you'll find the Quran. If you go to the synagogue, you'll find Torah. If you go to a magical temple, you'll find a grimoire. The thing about a grimoire is that it's not just one book, of course. Like, this is an example. The Goetia is an example of a grimoire. There's also other examples, great examples, like the grimoire of Honorius as well. You can check that out. The bell. The bell or the Baal, right? Seems to be a bit of a phallic symbol with the female symbol on it here as well. So it's the union of the two, the joining of the two, the ringing of the bell brings the mind to focus, the will to concentration, and begins and ends the ceremony. Tibetan monks use it, the Buddhists use it, Hindu practitioners use it, Christians use it as well. The bell, excuse me, the bell, to a degree. Incense and oils in the practice are particularly useful. Different incense and oils are used for different rituals, consecrations, and for achieving altered states of consciousness. I mean, there's few things that are as good at altering your state of mind than the right sense. I know that I enjoy the right sense in my home, my temple. Magic wands. This one here is a really good looking example. This one has got a runic carving in it. Looks very Northern European. It's got looks like pine. It's probably made out of pine wood. It's got a nice handle here. This one, somebody took some time to make this one here. Magic wand is similar to the athame. You can find differences in usage if you look into the grimoires yourself. The cauldron. I like this picture too. This is pretty cool. Our traditional three-legged witch's cauldron is made from cast iron. It's used in a lot of different ways. You can make offerings with this. You can perform water scrying, which is looking at the past or the future, or conjuring up different images or deities, demons, angels, spirits, whatever it is, in the water, right? This is basically like a cooking pot, but you're cooking up magical spells or psychic energies, reflections, all kinds of different things. It's a very versatile and, useful tool. When we think of the cauldron, I mean, what comes to my mind is like a cartoon witch with the big boiling cauldron and stuff, and she's doing all the putting all the herbs in and stuff like that. That's what I think of. Like, maybe that's just what we've been conditioned to think of, when we think of it. But if you go to a ritual store, you'll find these small, medium, and large. They're not very big. They don't have to be. It's size to fit on a table. It's good. Like this one here. Frater Perturabo. We'll look at Crowley again as an example of what's going on with the magical altar. His here is very simple. This is when he was a young man. We're going to go down his garb first, and then we'll go into what's on the altar. Oops, sorry. Frater Perturabo. Crowley. What is going on here? Okay, we have he has the serpent on his head, marking the pineal gland, or the energy point of the kundalini coming out of the crown chakra. He has the unfolded cube on his chest. If you don't already know about the black cube, you can see my presentations on that. I'm thinking about doing another one, maybe a part 2, because I have more to say about that topic, and people seem to really enjoy that, and I think it's a very important one. He's holding the magic wand, of course. I'm not sure what the symbolism he's given here represents. Maybe open-heartedness, something like that. I'm not sure exactly what this is. If somebody wants to cue me in on that, that would be great. We have right here, we have the, what do they call this? The stele. the stele of revealing. We'll talk more about the stele. This is an object that Crowley's wife and he were led to an Egyptian museum, which was the burial um, stone, I think, of the Egyptian deity deity that he made contact with in the Great Pyramids. This is the stele of revealing. The stele is basically a funerary monument, equivalent of a tombstone. This right here looks like some kind of vessel, wine. I'm not sure. Right here that I'm circling. Somebody else could maybe come in on that and enlighten me on this part here. We got the holy oil right here of Abramelin the Mage, of course, the Abramelin ritual oil. We have what I'm assuming is the Book of Abramelin here. All right. And then the athame here. It's more of a sword in this case, of course. But this is a good example of a simple magical altar from the master. This is kind of a quick one. This one is kind of to get me restarted. I would really like to know what you think about this presentation. If you want to see more, if you'd like to see 103, I'll provide that. Feedback and suggestions are always welcome. I love it. I love talking to people that watch this stuff or people that are doing other stuff online that are kind of, that are coming to this page. If you want to see something else, if you got a request, please put that request in. I'll get to it and let me know how I'm doing so I can continue to do this, make myself even more clear, and bring some better presentations to you in the future. Thanks for watching this one, and I hope that we all talk soon.